Out of storage from being stored over the winter. Go and clean everything out, and then I take a look at the toilet, and of course, what do you find? There's no water in the bowl, and that little black seal started to leak over the winter. Just by adding a little bit of water to it and waiting for a moment, you can see that the water just starts to go down, and there it's gone. So what do we need? We need to change that gasket. And of course, it's one of those toilets that you can't get at anything. There's a bolt on this side, then there's a bolt on this side. And way to the back, there's just nothing. No way to get at this thing at all. The only way is to take it off the floor and to work at it on a work table. So I'm going to go through that, and we're going to see how we change those gaskets. Apparently it's not too big a deal, so we'll give it a try. The thing we have to do is make sure there's no more water in the lines. So we've turned off the coach pump, the water pump, and I've drained most of the water out. But now I just have to make sure that the last little bit of water just gets out. And when I undo the fittings in the back of the toilet that I can hardly reach, I shouldn't have too much water coming out. So there we are, it's pretty much done. I should have a minimum amount of water that's going to come out. Kit does come with some pretty good instructions. It has some washers and the seal and the flange for the bottom of the toilet. It has this little diagram right here that shows you how to put the flush pedal back on, but it doesn't tell you how to get it off. So I'll go through that with you, as I have figured out how to do it. Hopefully I'll be able to do it in a way that'll make it easy for you. The nuts that hold the toilet to the floor are covered by these little plastic covers here. They just pull off and expose the half-inch socket that's going to go over top of them. It's really difficult with the camera in the way, but you get the idea. And I'll pull the other side off as well. I cannot show you the back of the toilet because the toilet just is too close to the wall and I can't get the camera back there. But I'll take it off and I'll show you what the connection looks like when I'm done. The toilet, I've just got it taken off. Took the bolts out. Here's the fitting right here that attaches to this little guy. And it wasn't too difficult. I just reached around and unscrewed it. It did leak a lot of water though when I got it out. I had a bit of a wipe up to do. And there's the old gasket. That wasn't leaking. It's the one inside the toilet. And I have to work through this little hole. That's the only access I have. That's why we have to take the toilet out of its position to work on it. There's no other access. It's out now of the washroom, and I've got it sitting on the table. And I've got quite a bit of stuff underneath of it just to catch the water, and because we do eat there. The instructions tell us to remove some bolts, and you can see the two bolts. One's right here and the other one is right here. And but the instructions don't tell you that you need to remove this pipe. So we just have to take off that little clamp right here, pull it back up, and pull that straight out. So I can't do it with one hand, so I'll just go ahead with that. And then I'm going to take out those two bolts that you can see right there. With this tube removed, it allows us to separate the base from the porcelain area. I've also taken out the screws, rid of this hole here, and then the other hole, and you can hardly see it. And you see those little plastic tabs back there, the white one. And then there's another one over here that's further in, and there's also two more right around the other side. We just have to rotate this clockwise to undo it, and it does undo, so it'll separate the top from the bottom. Also, the screws came out with a metal washer and a little nylon washer in this sequence right here. Don't want to lose them, we'll have to reuse them again. So far so good. I'm just going to tip the toilet over a little bit. And that's the bottom of it. And though the four holes around the sides lock into those four plastic tabs. And the part that has given us the problem to get this whole job done is that black seal right there. With this part now, getting at this is pretty easy, and I can see that it's got a bit of a dip here, and that green portion is worn. There is a little bit of grease on it. I put some plumber's grease on it the other day to try to stop it from leaking, but it didn't work at all. The new gasket looks like this. So I guess it was just plain worn out. I'm going to put a little bit of grease again in this area just to give it a good watertight seal and clean it up a little bit. This is the grease that I'll be using. It's plumber's grease. You can just get it at any hardware. We read that it says, this grease lubricant is specially formulated for use on metal, faucet and valve stems carrying air, steam, and hot or cold water. Also lubricates ball cocks, plungers, packings, and washers. Can be used on potable water since it is safe and non-toxic. So there's no worries about using this stuff here. And this grease will also help it to stay a little bit more pliable. Maybe I'll get a little more extended use out of this one, not have to take this toilet apart again. I don't particularly like this one job. That should be good. Real light coating. It's also a good time to be able to wipe up all the bottom end of the toilet that you can't reach and put it back in like new, nice and clean. You also have to take off the old grease right from the bottom here. There's not much, but there's just a fine coating, and we do have to add more to it. It's not sticky, it's just a little bit greasy. That's the bottom of the porcelain bowl inside. And to be honest with you, this isn't really such a bad job. It's just I don't like working on the toilet. But it is an easy to do job for anybody. Now I was wiping it with this paper towel, and I noticed before I went to put it together or put the grease on that I've got these little pieces of paper that have bundled up and rolled around. So just got to get all that off, make sure I've got a good clean surface to work with. And the next thing I just got to put on is a little bit of this grease, just a fine amount. Yeah, that should do it. And I'm just going to wipe the inside of the porcelain. I didn't really get any in there, but you never know. Now I've got this with a little bit of grease, plumber's grease. The new gasket is here. This piece operates nicely. I just have to put this back on, and it's not too difficult. All I've got to do is put it back on in the same way I got it off. Here we are. And I'm going to just give it a bit of a twist like that, and believe it or not, that's it. I just have to put those little screws back in and put that water tube back on and install it. Okay, so we're just going to put these bolts back in with the nylon washer up against the porcelain. Otherwise, probably give it a crack and then be buying a whole new toilet. And these just have to go down snug, not tight at all. Okay, there we are. Just snug. Just double check this one, and snug. That's it. And now I'll just take this tube and put it back on here. Make sure it's sitting tight. And put the clamp back on. Of course, there's no mention of this in the instructions. So this will be my one chance to get this new gasket in. You can see it's really going to get enlarged just by the toilet being pushed down on top of it. And I'm just going to clean this up a bit. I noticed when I took it off initially that gasket was very dry. It doesn't look like they'd put anything like lubricant on it at all. So I'm just going to put it back the way it was and just tidy this up a little bit while I'm at it. Reinstalling it, I noticed that it might just fit better on the bottom of the toilet before I put it in. So I came over and gave the old flange a little bit of a try. And sure enough, it just fits nice and easy over this. So over the years, what's happened is it's gotten stretched. The new one just fits on and stretches over it like that. Just as easy as that. And then it fits right down inside. No guesswork. And that's how she goes. So long as I can get it over those screw holes on the first try, that should be pretty good. This one, there we go. Now I just have to get the bolts put on and I'm good. So I did add a little bit of water to it before I bolted it to the floor, and it's been sitting here for at least 2 minutes now. That amount of water would have drained out in 15 seconds. It looks like it's pretty good. I don't see any troubles with it whatsoever. I just have to bolt it down and connect up the pipe in the back, turn on the water in the RV, and I'll give it another try. So I want to tighten up these nuts, but I want to make sure that they get tightened down pretty evenly. So I just have to be careful. It is porcelain, I don't want to break it. Well, actually the bottom part is not porcelain now that I think of it. So I've got everything tightened up again. The water's connected and I've got the pump on, and just by adding a little bit of water you can see that it's holding the water. Nice. Hi, I'm Ron, the Free Fix-It guy. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe and click the like button. If you'd like to give any comments, please leave them below. And I look forward to any comments you might have and possible repairs that you'd like to see done. So until next time, if it breaks, just fix it. We'll see you next time.